Okay, this is the part, trigger warning about grief. Um, People will say that it gets easier, that you learn to live with it. And from my experience, you just learn to wear a mask. And you learn to wear a thicker mask around some people because it's really hard for them to handle. I have been shamed before. It wasn't only months after I lost my son, and the remarks were made that I would come on here looking sad so people would feel sorry for me. And I would only come on here because people invited me to, and I thought it was to try to help me get through it and keep my mind off of it. I was literally trying to keep a straight face the whole time. So I'll no longer be shamed about sharing my grief. It's something that so many of us go through, is the loss of children, even adult children. I feel like we have lost so much of a whole generation, and so yeah, I don't see how it can get easier whenever it's longer and longer since you've witnessed their smile, since you've witnessed their laugh, since you have been in the presence of just their body language and the way they say and do things, and heard their jokes and experienced those big tight hugs they give you where your ears on their chest and you hear their heartbeat. So it doesn't get easier. It's just the mask that you wear. So if you know someone that's grieving, I would say to give them some grace. There's no, people say, oh, they should be over it by now. They should be doing better by now. No. And just give them some grace. That's all I'm saying. And another thing I want to add too, I was about to close this out. I've heard people say, whenever I talk about talking to other friends or whatever, what about her husband? What about her husband? What about him? We have both lost a son. 2 boys. My son has been in my husband's life his whole life. We met my husband when my son was about 6 weeks old. My husband's son, I think, was about 8 years old. So yeah, we do talk about grief, but it's nicer to have somebody else to talk to about it when you can, because this is the way it goes. We still have a child here. So say he's gone through the whole day to try to have a good day, to try to put his best foot forward, and I'm grieving that day, right? We're grieving every day, but the grief is heavy on me that day. And then I put what I'm feeling on him. It triggers his grief. And then we're both no good for nothing or anybody. We're both just lost, freaking mentally, so freaking sad. We're not any good for each other or any good for our other child or anybody. So if he's fought so hard, or vice versa, if I have fought so hard to have a good day, I'm finally having a decent day, and then he's grieving and he opens up to me that he's grieving and he's struggling, sure, I'm going to listen as he would to me, but it triggers something inside of me, and I can feel it, the heaviness. I can feel the grief he's feeling, and then mentally I'm no good either, So so all the people, what about her husband? That's what about my husband. He's grieving too, and I don't always want to pour that on him. and he doesn't always want to pour it on me. You know, if one of us is having a good day, then we're cheering that one on. So, if you've never been through it, you just be better to keep your opinions to yourself.